Hello everyone, my name is Hanif Mustafa and here's my teammate. Today I have something very interesting to share. I will be presenting our research poster with the title Actions Speak Louder Than Words, which focuses on nonverbal communication at the workplace setting. Now, let me ease you in first. What is nonverbal communication? Well, according to Tiwari 2015, nonverbal communication is any unspoken or unwritten messages that are either intentional or unintentional. She further added that most of the time, nonverbal communication are unplanned, less structured, spontaneous, and blends really well with verbal communication. Another thing to keep in mind is that verbal communication or verbal messages is better conveyed with nonverbal cues. Butella 2015 even stated that body language has a bigger impact in forming an impression compared to verbal messages. You've seen how I've been using my hands quite a bit while I'm talking. Well, that's because that is one form of nonverbal communication. So today we are interested to see how nonverbal communication works at the workplace. That said, there are 3 research questions that we have formed in order to act as the backbone of our research. And number 1, what is the common types of nonverbal communication at the workplace? Number 2, what are the functions of nonverbal communication at the workplace? And number 3, what are the effects of nonverbal communication at the workplace? Which is why our research objective is to identify the common types, the functions, and the effects of nonverbal communication at the workplace. In terms of methodology, we conducted our research through content analysis of secondary data obtained from multiple researches that deals with nonverbal communication focused on organizational setting. Now let's take a look at the literature behind nonverbal communication. Bonacio et al. 2016 said that the various forms of nonverbal communication can be seen in 3 categories. First, body codes. Body codes consist of body language, kinesics, and oculesics. The second one is contact and sensory codes, which mainly consist of vocalics, olfactics, and also haptics. Finally, the spatiotemporal code, which consists of prosemics, chronemics, and environment. Patella 2015 stated that in terms of the abilities of nonverbal communication, it can be seen in 5 different ways. 1, in terms of accenting, in terms of complementing, in terms of substituting, repeating, and contradicting. And finally, Lin 2017 stated that nonverbal communication can have severe effect in terms of subordinate and supervisor relationship, in terms of their mood and behavior and their overall approachability. Here are the findings. For the first research question, what is the common types of nonverbal communication at the workplace? According to Carr and Burlick 2019, nonverbal communication strategies that are mainly used at the workplace setting consist of eye contacts, head nods, and gestures. But according to Embody and Wishbush 2010, the most common type of nonverbal communication strategy at the workplace setting is actually tone, body language, and distance, especially for a multicultural workplace setting. Number 2, what are the functions of nonverbal communication at the workplace? Well, according to Patella 2015, nonverbal communications are used to repeat verbal discourses with gestures, complement verbal discourses by using gestures, contradict verbal discourses by making the user seem untruthful, to accent verbal discourses by pointing to a reference in the message, and finally to substitute verbal discourses by using gestures instead. So what we found is that the most common type of function at the workplace is actually complementing and accenting. The nonverbal cues that are used to complement includes facial expression and body posture. In terms of accenting, the nonverbal cues that are used include facial expression and hand gestures. Number 3, what are the effects of nonverbal communication at the workplace? So we found that nonverbal communication affects both employees and supervisors. In terms of employees, it has an effect on the rapport between employees through the display of emotions like facial expression and eye movement. This has profound influence on their mood, while they're interacting at the workplace late 2017. Additionally, we also found that their supervisors and employees' relationship can strengthen to the use of nonverbal communication. Supervisors, on the other hand, uses distance and body posture to enhance the hierarchy, their status, and their power. And finally, the conclusion. What can we conclude from our research? We found that the most common form of nonverbal communication is the body code or body language. Nonverbal communication functions mostly as complementing and to accent, which has profound effect on employee-supervisor relationship, their mood and behavior, manner of interaction. That is all for me. My name is Muhammad Hani bin Mustafa again, and thank you for your time.